Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? Hope everybody doing good this Sunday morning, man. Welcome to another episode of the morning after. We got a lot to cover today, man. We got a whole lot to cover. It's gonna be an outstanding show. What's up, KQKC? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm feeling kind of down today, but hey, it's all right though. It's boxing, and this is what we asked for, and we getting it. It don't matter how we getting it, but we getting it as long as we doing it on a straight up and up, clean boxing and clean competition.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what we wanted. Yep.
Yes, sir. We got a lot. Man, it was a lot of great fights this weekend. A lot of prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the big fight, Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. We had the first ever inaugural Bridgerweight Championship on Friday, which was a good fight, but it was something that I'm not really a fan of it because it was supposed to be created to get rid of the weight discrepancy in the winner Oscar Rivas. He still outweighed his opponent by like 30 or 40 pounds, so it didn't make
Right.
it doesn't make any sense. But um instead of talking about the Oscar Rivas fight because we know he won on Friday, let's talk about the Bridgerweight division for a little bit as we let people come in here. What's your thoughts on it? Do you like what the WBC is doing with the new division? Do you think it's useless? What are your thoughts on the division as a whole?
Well, as far as the bigger weight, a lot of people, first of all, they don't even know what bigger weight is and what it stands for and why they came up with that name. Of course, it's named after a young man who had ailment well, basically, bigger weight is for guys that is top heavyweights, but they're not the top of the echelon. They pretty much lower weight classes like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder came in at 212 one time, 209. He would have been perfect for bigger weight, but he didn't want bigger weight. See,
Mm-hmm.
if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? And no one is on board with this but the WBC. And I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that it's a money grab. I believe that it's they're trying to pretty much collect more sanctioned body fees. And the WBC, they they feel they shit don't stink. They feel that they can sit there and make up rules as they go along. And we have
Facts.
seen that in that Oscar Valdez. We seen how Canelo they gonna raise up the glutarol level, and no, they do what the fuck they think they want to do. But it's time for
Mm-hmm.
the boxing federation to pretty much, hey, look here, you can't do what you want to do. You can't make up rules as you go. You can't sit there and introduce another weight class. We all got to agree on this together, and that's what the
Mm.
governing bodies got to do. They got to stick together on this shit, and they got to stand tall, so that's what I think about. I think it's a money grab, you know.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get a roll call real quick after I give my opinion on it. So it's the same
Right.
thing. Like Mauricio Suleiman, I think the WBC has much bigger fish to fry and much bigger
Mhm.
problems than worrying about a new division, man. Like you got the Oscar Valdez situation. Like your clean boxing program is in shambles right now because of that situation. Like you
Mhm.
might as well cancel that shit and just say you're gonna let people do steroids. Like that's where they at with it. Then you got the interim saga between JoJo Diaz, Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna, Devin Haney, all of that shit. Looks like
Right.
we finally gonna get Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz. So we'll talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit later in the show after we go through all the fights this weekend. But it's something that makes no sense to me because you telling me that it's because you feel like the smaller heavyweights don't have a chance against the bigger heavyweights. All right, cool. Well, Oscar Rivas, who won the fight, he came in at 222 pounds, no telling how big he rehydrated up to. And then he
Right.
was fighting against a cruiserweight that came in at 203 pounds. So there's still a huge weight difference. He still outweighed his opponent by 30 or 40 pounds. So what's the point? What's the
Right.
point of the damn division? They just want more sanctioning fees. And just like their franchise belt, the
Mhm.
Bridgerweight is something that only they're on board with. Like it's the WBC. They not the presidents and the kings of boxing. They just want to have shit that nobody else has and do things that no one else does. And
Mhm.
it's horrible to me. But that's my thoughts on it. Let me see who we
Let,
got in
let,
the
let,
building.
let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you something real fast.
Yeah.
Do the bigger weight has a stipulation on okay, like the IBF, you can't rehydrate past 10 pounds.
Not that I know of. Not that I
Okay.
know of. Only the
Okay.
IBF do that. All I know is you Bridgerweight, you between 201 and 224 pounds, and you can get it popping. If you
Man.
make weight in between there, then you can get it popping. I'll do some more research. If somebody in the chat knows, type it in the chat. But to my knowledge, all
Mm-hmm.
they got to do, like every other WBC title
Mm-hmm.
or every other division, once you make weight, you can come in that bitch whatever you want.
Okay.
you come,
Right.
you come in there whatever you want, as long as you make weight. Like
Yeah.
the IBF, to my knowledge, are the only ones to do that. But let's see who we got in the
Okay.
building, man. Y'all be
Okay.
sure to smash that like button as you come in. C
Yes,
Wood,
sir.
what's up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Robert Hill, what's up, Robert? Shot Town, what's up, Shot Town's finest? Salute to you, man. Daryl, what's up, Daryl Deloach? We got Miguel
Girl.
Rodriguez in the building. What's up, Miguel? Winners train, losers complain. LDBC, what's up, brother?
All
Daniel
right.
Mitchell, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. Teach, what up, Teach? Doing all
Teach.
right this morning, man. We chilling. My beautiful wife, what's up, baby? Hope you're doing all
What's up,
right this morning.
pal?
Demetrius Bright, salute to you, bro. Snacks B, what up, man? G Parker in the building, salute G. Daniel Mitchell, what's up, man? Cono Loco Sports, salute to you, bro. You
Look.
got your prediction right, man. You was right on. We was together. Salute to you. We gonna talk about it later.
Boo.
KQKC got some explaining to do. We already had Snacks
Boo.
B. Peacekeeper, what's up, man? Crush the legend. Salute to you, Crush. Dante Hall in the building. What up, Dante? Tyrone Spencer, what's up, Tyrone? Let me see. Terry Smoot Jr., what up, Terry? And last but not least,
Red.
we got Jay Cooley in the building. What's up, Jay Cooley? So let's get to Saturday. I want to talk about your Chicago brethren first. His last name Cobb, right?
Yes, sir. Cobb.
Yeah, man. Hey, I was very impressed. I'll let you lead it off though, because that's your people's, man.
Uh-huh.
That's your guy, man. What did you think of his performance? What do you want to see next? I know it was only his debut, but what do you think so far based off what you saw, man?
Well, I seen that he's starting to get away from that amateur pedigree. Um, he's starting now to learn how to go to the body, because amateurs, they have a different way of doing things. Their weight classes are different, and now he's fitting right into the program. He moved out to Texas, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. Now, he's not a tall fighter, but he's a fast fighter. He reminds me of the similarities, pretty much the same with Gary Russell Jr., but he's a little bit bigger and, of course, younger. But right now, he looked good on his first debut. But I would love to see, because the jury's still out. For me, you got to show me something. You got to show me something, like Robert Byrd always say, show me something. You got to show me maybe first 10 fights. Let them be, and don't let them baby him. Let them pretty much put, rise up his competition like every 2 fights. Something like that. He gonna make mistakes. He might lose a couple, but like I said, always, you lose one now, that's all right, because you rather lose it now than down the line when you're in an eliminator or you're in a championship. So but you learn from your mistakes. That's the thing. And this is where separate the men from the boys. When you lose, or when you pretty much don't do well in your performance, you have to learn from them. Now, it's about what you do. Are you going to come back stronger, or are you going to come back weaker, or are you going to come back with your hands in your pocket and won't let your hands go? That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes a champion. And right now, the Cobb family, and I know the extended family, I don't know him personally, but right now, I think so far the way he looked, he might have the goods. But hey, like I say, the jury's still out. We
Yeah.
said a lot of guys had the goods. Showbox, when they had the Showbox series going on, they had a guy named Antoine Douglas. I asked someone in the chat, hey, what happened to that guy? Because he was a middleweight and he was knocking people out. He was this and that. But when he got knocked out, man,
It was
all
over.
that ceased. Yep, it's over.
Damn.
And that's the thing about it. You got to learn from your mistakes and move on. And some people mentally, they can't do that. A la Adrian Broner, a la J Rock, a la Michael Garcia. So I mean, hey, when you take a good butt whoop and learn from it and come back and see what you can do and improve yourself.
Yeah.
So I think he did a hell of a job for his first debut.
Yeah, me too, man. I
Mhm.
was very impressed. I wanted to really tune in to him since you said, he was from Chicago and his family and
Uh,
stuff. One thing I liked about him is he was staying behind his jab and he showed a lot of patience. He didn't just come in like a lot of amateurs in their very first professional fight. They just come
uh,
in and it seemed like they had 100 monsters and four Red Bulls and they just go 100 miles per hour from the moment go and they show no
right.
patience. They show no awareness of just slowing down and
Exactly.
letting stuff come to you. But he did a
Mhm.
great job of that. Like he started off on this jab, and about 5-10 seconds into the fight, you could tell he was stronger. You could tell he was faster. You could tell he was more skilled. And
Right.
he didn't even just go crazy like that. He let old buddy make a mistake, and man, it looked like he
Yeah.
got fire in his punches. Because I know the competition level wasn't the best, obviously, because it was his pro debut. But
Mhm.
when you put somebody to sleep, bro, you put him to sleep. Like he
Mhm.
separated that dude from his faculties. Like he was asleep, like trying to get up, like he couldn't. His
Right.
brain, his body was knocked out, and his brain didn't even know it. So I'm real interested to see what happens to him moving forward, man, because he looks like he can be a good fighter. And you mentioned Showbox,
Yeah.
they still do those Showbox cards. I'd love to see
Yeah.
him on the Showbox card.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
love to see him on the Showbox
Mhm.
card because he got some real talent, it looks like. So salute to him. Salute
Mhm.
to his family. And I'm really excited to see what's next for the young man because he looks like he can be something in the sport. I hope he just keeps his head on straight, stays disciplined. Because from what you were saying last night on your call, it's my understanding that he has a tough family and comes from tough and humble beginnings. So hopefully he can
Yeah.
just stay on the straight and narrow, use
Mhm.
boxing to keep him growing and keep him out of certain situations and away from certain things and just
Mhm.
be a good fighter because he definitely looks like he has the skills. Do you know what weight class he was fighting at yesterday?
You know what? That's what I was trying to figure out. I think he was fighting
Me
at
too. I
lightweight.
couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked because
Yeah.
I
He
heard
like.
you saying he was short. If he's at
Mhm.
140, 147,
Mhm.
I totally understand it. But if he's at like lightweight or 130 or something,
Mhm.
man, I don't think his height would be that big of an issue. So I'm
Right.
interested to see kind of where he gets to and where he finds his
Mhm.
niche and kind of where he fits in the game. But so
Mhm.
far, man, he put a lot, at least the other prospects around his age that are in his weight
Mhm.
class, he put them on notice because I know at the
Oh, yeah.
very least his right hand is dynamite.
Oh,
his
oh,
right,
oh, oh,
this
yeah.
straight right hand he threw, man,
Right.
he did that dude. He did that dude wrong. Silver, what's up? I see you in the building.
And
I don't
he
know DP
yeah.
Rocker. I don't know.
Mhm.
Do you know who his promoter is? KQKC?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, me
But
neither.
I think he's with Top Rank, but he fight out of Houston. I know
Mm,
that. So and I was going to say a knockout. I don't think he would stay in trouble. First of all, he out of Chicago now, and he's out there, and he fight out of Houston. And but
nice.
keep in mind that this is his extended family
Mm,
that's doing life in jail and just like that. I don't even think he ever met them
that's good,
because they
man.
way older, and he's doing the right thing. He keeping his nose clean. He got the hell up out of there, and now he getting some good sparring and good boxing. And I'm quite sure somebody. I don't know. I know it's not Derry James. I know it's not Ronnie Shields. I'm gonna ask Ronnie because I do talk to Ronnie sometimes. So I'm gonna ask him, do he know who his trainer is? So he should know if he fighting out of Houston, Texas. So yeah.
Yes, sir. And I see y'all
Yeah.
coming in the building. Y'all smash that like button as you get in here. Salute, Sweet Tea. Silva already got you. DP Rocker answered your question. Salute to you, bro. So moving on up the card, man. It was a very interesting fight
Mhm.
between that Evan Brady Jr. kid, and I forgot the other guy's name. It was the two undefeated prospects. You
Right.
know which one I'm talking about? The one with the red, he had on the red trunks, and the other one had on the blue. His name was, man, I forget the dude's name, but that was a good fight.
Mhm.
I think you called. I think it was early in the card. It was the one that went to the decision between the two
Mhm.
undefeated fighters. Man, I thought that was a real good fight. That kid Brady Jr. He's only 19 years old, and he was the
Uh,
number one ranked. He was one of the number one ranked amateurs coming out, and he's trained by his father Negrete. There you go, K Rod. Yeah, it
Right.
was Brady Jr. versus Negrete. Both of them look like they could be some good fighters, man. I really like Brady Jr.'s timing and his jab that he was using, as well as
Mm-hmm.
he was mixing it up and going to the body very, very well, which I
Mm-hmm.
believe separate his hand speed and his ability to use different ways to get at Negrete was very,
Mm-hmm.
very good. But at the same time, while Negrete took a L, he showed great timing. He showed he got a good chin, and he was able to land that overhand right on a very slick boxer. So I think his timing is really good. But Brady Jr. at only 19, if he
Mm-hmm.
shorts some things up, like he got his chin in the air and shit all the time. His head movement, he's easy to get hit with that overhand right. The only thing I didn't like about his performance is he didn't make the adjustment. He kept getting hit with the same punch over and over. But for somebody that's 19 years old, man, he's now 4-0 with 3 knockouts. I think
Mm-hmm.
that kid, Brady Jr., he's something to watch out, man. He's something to watch out for sure. What's your thoughts on that fight, man? The Negrete and Evan Brady Jr. fight.
Well, the Negrete, he had the reach. He had the height. He's kind of like lanky, and he had the overhand right, which surprised Brady, cause he did land it, and he landed well. And it's kind of one of those high, sneaky right hands. He put out the jab, then here come the overhand right on top of the head. But damn Brady, with the good ring IQ that he has, because remember these guys, they haven't been pro that long. So
Mm-hmm.
when you pick up things, and you see things going on in the gym, you try to emulate them. And now, Brady Jr., which he was fast, he picked up on the overhand right. He saw that coming. He saw that coming a mile away. He ducked and got under there and did the counter. Which, hey, that's textbook science right there. So I think like I say, the jury out on him. Now, like I said, the 4 rounder guys, once you see them fighting maybe 10 fights, then you say, okay, all right, now what is he gonna do? Are they gonna
They'll
baby
step
him?
up.
Are they gonna baby him, or are they gonna sit there and give him great competition? And like I say, I would love to see these guys start stepping it up, and stop trying to sit there and build their confidence up. Their confidence already built up. The confidence is already built up. They already been on TV. They already know how to fight with this shirt off now. All right, the amateurs is gone now. All right, now you're in the
Mhm.
pros. You're there with the big boys, and now they trying to hang with them, and they doing a great job so far. You know,
Yes,
so
sir.
McGregor don't have no issues about losing last night. He did a great job. He just wasn't the better man.
Yeah, because somebody with a similar name, not Negrete, but Navarrete, he lost very early in his career, and look at him now. So,
Yep.
hopefully, he can just continue to grow. He does have some stuff to work on. He's a pressure fighter. I would love for him to come behind the jab, man, to
Uh-huh.
to apply that pressure instead of leading with his right hand and just walking in all the time. So, I mean, they both have some stuff to work on. They can both get very better, and they're both still
Mhm.
young. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that and before we get into another fight, that leads me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. So Tim Bradley, man. Tim Bradley is out here. Tim Bradley is out here shitting on prospects.
Well,
Nobody's gonna
I
be
couldn't I
anything.
couldn't
And they,
turn it up. So what he was saying?
man, look, he was saying, oh man, this dude ain't gonna be nothing. He's garbage. He's not gonna be nothing in the sport. I tell you that right now. He has too many holes, too many flaws in his game. And I'm thinking, like, man, this kid is 21 years old in his pro debut, and he's winning every round, bro. Why are you going
Like
in on
he's a
that?
hell of a fighter. Like
Yeah,
he's a hell of a nigga. Well, man.
yeah, bro. Like so what's your thoughts on just Tim Bradley in general and his commentary? It seems like it's inconsistent. It seems like he picks and chooses who he wants to be objective with and who he wants to give props to. Just what
There
are your
you go.
thoughts on him as a commentator, man?
There you go. You hit it right on the head. He picks and chooses. And he try to go along with the conversation. If Andre says this, he'll go along with that. If Mark says something else, he'll go along with that. But he's not a great commentator, because commentators, they speak their own mind. Commentators ask the tough questions. Commentators put out the worst of what you do out there. Like I was explaining the other time that Shakur fought. He was saying that Shakur did everything right in the whole fight. But then Mark said, wait a minute, then people must label him as a boring fighter. And then he said, you know what? You're right. You're right. Yeah, because he is kind of boring and this and that. He just flipped just like that, right? And Andre said, well, I'm not going to say he's a boring fighter. I think he maybe need to do a little bit more, but that don't mean he's a boring fighter. Now Andre Ward, now he has his own mind, and he's going to tell you basically what he feels and thinks. Not Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley, he goes where the wind blows.
Yeah.
All right. If the wind is blowing that way, okay, I'm riding with that wind. All right. I'm riding with that wind, and he needs to shut his ass up because it's not like he was a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, he be talking like he was a first ballot, multiple division Hall of Famer or something, man.
Exactly. Yeah, he beat Manny Pacquiao. Yes, he did. Okay, that was a great victory for him. But what did he do? He sat there and cried because they didn't like him because he beat Manny Pacquiao. He said, I wish I was dead. What?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me, dude? You wish he was dead. Man, I would have said, man, look, forget them. All right.
Forget y'all. Let me get a rematch and shit. I'll beat him again so I can make some more money. What y'all talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Then when he lost, he said, man, I feel a lot of pressure off of me now. What? So he's bad. He's bad for Top Rank and he's bad for boxing. He need to get into something else. Maybe stay his ass at home. I mean, he's not like he's from Palm Beach, man. He's from Palm Beach, all right? Some shit like that. So, I mean, it is what it is, but you can't be a commentator and sit there and go along with the rest of the commentators, So
yeah, real quick, and we'll get back to the card. But like Tim Bradley, man, he like. First of all, I wouldn't want him as a homeboy because he'll never tell you what's right. He'll always just agree with you. That's the first thing. Like, I don't want you to agree with me if I'm wrong. Like, you need to help me out, bro. You need to make sure that you're a good friend. That's the first thing. The second thing is if you can't never schedule a debate with him, because if you try to debate with Tim Bradley, the moment you start talking, he's just gonna agree with you and the debate is over. So so it's like, bro, you don't have your own mind, you don't have your own brain. But what I really don't like is the tearing people down before they even get started, bro. Like, it's one thing to see a prospect and be like, oh, he got a lot to work on. Oh, he's bad right now, but maybe he can get better. Like, that's one thing. But just to say that somebody, because at the end of the day, I think sometimes as boxing fans, I think sometimes these journalists and these commentators, they forget, bro, that like these boxers are people. And at the end of the day, these boxers, man, they sitting up here, they putting their life on the line. That kid worked his whole life to try to get to that point. He on national TV, and when his family watched the playback, and when he watched the playback, they got to listen to you say he ain't never going to be shit. Now, obviously, hopefully he can use it as motivation and things like that. But I just think as a commentator, you're supposed to be objective. You're supposed to be analytical, and you can still say, look, I don't think it was the best performance. But to say that his career ain't never going to be shit, I think that was a step too far to me, man. It really was. Opulent LD, salute to you, bro. I see you in the building. Appreciate you coming through. And y'all, we got the Cash Apps rolling across the screen. So if you want to support KQKC, his Cash App is right there. My Cash App is right there, as well as you can hit the super chat button to support the channel. Anything you can give is appreciated. And at the very least, as you come in the building, y'all be sure to smash that like button for us so we can continue to grow this show, man, and get YouTube to share it to the people. Now,
real quick, knock out before you move on. But Tim Bradley, he got to understand these guys in a 4-rounders and 6-rounders and 8-rounders, they are just starting off. Like Cobb from Chicago, that was his debut. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna look amateur-like. They're gonna look like they don't know what they're doing. That's how it's gonna be. They're nervous, That's the first time on a big stage, and probably the first time they're on TV. So you got to get these kids a break. These are kids. These are guys that's 19, 20. I think one was 18. You got to get these kids a break, man. And boxing, you don't play boxing. and he's trying to not to get knocked the fuck out, and he's not trying not to get hurt, and trying to do good and trying to follow the game plan, and so when things get hot in there and heated, you try to think at the same time, but it will all fall in place. You start feeling them punches before they come. You start, the IQ, you know how to roll with punches, you know how to fight on the inside, you know how to fight on the outside, you know how to use that jab. And I mean, they will learn. They will learn. You got to get
Facts.
these kids time. But you can't tear a fighter down that gonna make them do better. No, you hurting their
Yeah.
self-esteem.
Yeah.
So when they go back and look at that, they gonna be like, man, he just got on me, man. That ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So and they should tell and Andre Ward too should, man, look, these guys are young, and we need to support the young fighters, especially Top Rank, because Top Rank has one of the best recruitment programs. I don't
Yeah,
know
they
who
got
got
all the young. They got all the
yeah,
young guns, bro. That's the
yes,
best card.
yes,
They got the best prospects in the world, man.
right.
To be
Yep.
honest with you, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And
So
that's the thing too. Like, bro, these dudes 19, 20, 21. Everybody ain't Canelo. Everybody ain't Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. Very few people are
right.
close to being a finished product when they that young. Like, you talking about
Mhm.
elite level talents when you mention guys like that. Everybody ain't coming up knocking everybody out like Tank Davis at 21, 22 years old, taking on Pedrazas and shit. Like, that's not everybody's path, man. Some people
Right.
have to grow into that shit, but that don't
Yep.
make them any less of a fighter or give them any less of a chance at being successful. You know what I mean? So I just
Exactly.
wish they would like when you think of Burchell, who just lost to Valdez, but before that, he
Mhm.
lost real early in his career, and then look at the tear that he went on, becoming the
Yep.
boogeyman, becoming a champion and shit. So you got to get these, like you said, you got to give these guys time, man. You really got to give them
Yeah.
time to grow into themselves and
Hmm.
do better. We working our way up the card. I see a couple of y'all dropping Shakur Stevenson comments and shit. We gonna get there. That's gonna be the most of the show. We gonna get through these other fights. First, man, it's Salute King Jr. I see you in the building. Dundada, I see you came through. PGH Big Dog, what's up, man? Big Texas
Dada.
ATX, Cletus Smith, what's up with you, bro? Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Y'all smash the like button as you come through and rock out with us for this morning in boxing talk, man. So I want to talk about the Olympian and Troy Isley, man. Troy the Transformer Isley. That dude, he knocked out his opponent in the first round. And look, man, I think he got something down there at 154, 160 where he's gonna be fighting. He went to the Olympics this year in 2021 for 2020 because y'all know the COVID. And Troy
Mm.
Isley, man, he didn't win in the Olympics. I think he made it to like the round of 16 or something, but
Right.
his style is much more conducive to the pro game. The way that he's able to apply pressure, his jab, he
Hmm.
has a good. I like fighters that can make you barely miss them and then be in position to counter. He was going to the body well, and he beat that Army Ranger up because Navarro was a tough Army Ranger, southpaw, much taller than Troy Isley. And Troy Isley went in there and he put it on him. Now it's only his third professional fight, so I don't expect the level of opposition to be good. But if you're just looking at his speed, his power, his pedigree, and how he moves in the ring, he looks like he could be something. So I want to see whether or not they're gonna fast track him or they're gonna keep giving him soft touches. Because honestly, believe with his skill set, he might be ready for a step up in competition right now, man.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 So, but like I say, these guys, like you say, to step up in competition. Yeah, he might be ready, but then again, he might not be ready. But
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with put him in there and test him out. Let's see what he can do. Like I say, don't be scared to take a L right now. That doesn't mean anything. That means that okay, we have to go back, look at what I did wrong, and let's correct it. That's all. Now when you get up and older and eliminators and fighting for a championship for a belt, you're gonna think that you lost back then, because you have a lot of fighters that lose back then. I know Belango wish he can go back and start all over and do this and do that. And now look at him. He's sitting down on every punch he throws. And
that's a
he
good
don't
point.
have great. He don't have great punch placement. Now he need to be taught that. Now you got a guy that's so far gone now.
You
You
got
can't
to step
even.
them up. You
That's
can't
right.
keep having them fight tomato cans for 25 fights.
Exactly. And now you touched on that, right? Now, when he do that, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Mm,
He's gonna get pretty much the ass whooping of his life, probably. If he doesn't polish up his act and get his act together. So and you know what? And I hate to say this. Same way with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder always had great tools. He always knew how to box. But why do that when you have that right hand as a punch? Why go through all that when you're just gonna end it with that one right hand? And
mm.
then he admitted it himself. Then he started depending on that right hand. And then you got Belango, he started depending on his strength. But now, when you come up, it's called boxing. It's called the sweet science. You're going to have to learn how to work behind that jab. You're going to have to learn how to use your angle. You have to learn how to work on the inside and out. So, I mean, that's facts. You're going to have to learn. Sooner or later, you're going to have to learn how to box. And you know what? The trainers, those are the ones that's going to have to take that time. And we ain't friends. We ain't homies. I'm your trainer and you my fighter. All right. So let's get it popping. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah,
So
100. And
yep.
I see a lot. I see the chat. People saying it's a tough division to step Troy Isley up in. How
Well,
about
yeah,
giving him
yeah.
10 fights before a step up? Like I understand all of that. Step up. I'm not saying fight contenders or fight top 10 to 15 type fighters, but the way that we saw Brady Jr. versus Negrete, somebody like that. Because right now, 3 fights in, Troy Isley's fighting people that that are former MMA fighters, or the guy that he just fought was 37 years old and only had 2 professional fights. You know what I mean? Like that's what when I say step up, I mean another boxer, somebody else that maybe don't have
Mhm,
the amateur pedigree that you had, but
mhm.
they're in their 20s too, and they're trying to make it too. And maybe they have a winning record, but they never been stopped before. Similar to
Yeah.
and we'll get to this fight later, similar to Dan Carpinci, an opponent like that for what we saw from Xander Zayas. That's what I'm saying. Somebody
Mhm.
somebody like that for him to really continue to grow, that's gonna get him rounds and shit instead of
Right.
just being able to knock everybody out in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, cause that does
Right.
nothing for you as a prospect. And OG alluded to it very well. Like Edgar Berlanga, I firmly feel that by giving him all those soft touches, they've stifled his career. They put his shit on hold, bro. Like the moment that he fights somebody with good timing that can take a punch, like it might not end well for him, bro. It might end pretty bad for him because he has so many holes in his game. No head movement, throws every
Mhm.
punch really hard, which means he loads up on him, and so a good fighter can see that shit coming.
Right.
If he fight anybody worth anything, like I don't know if he lasts, man. And salute to my wife, man. I appreciate that, baby. Thank you so much for that little paper. So let's get to the main card. Let's get to the main card and start talking about these fights. And we only got 4 more to talk about, and we'll be to the main fight. I know y'all are excited to talk about that. So first, Holyfield son, man.
Mm.
Holyfield son, Evan
Ooh,
Holyfield Jr. Talk to me about it, man. I like what I saw, but I
man,
want to let you. I want to let you go first, man.
man. I'm gonna have to admit, I was one of the worst critics of this guy. I
Mm,
always tell everyone, just because your father boxed or whoever, that doesn't mean you're gonna be a boxer. I pointed out Chavez Jr. I pointed out Shane Mosley Jr. I mean, but Holyfield, well, at least last night, let me put it that way. I don't want to jump the gun too far yet, but I will say that he did a great job. He did a great performance last night. He knew pretty much how to go down to the body. He knew how to wrap his right around the body and go to the kidney, the left kidney, right kidney, and he stood in the pocket for a minute or two, and he traded with him. Now, of course, sometimes that can be a big mistake because you can get hit with something that you don't want to get hit with because he doesn't have a tight defense. He doesn't
mm,
have a tight defense. He easily get hit in the head. He easily get hit on the side of the head, which were equilibrium at. But right now, yesterday he had the height, he had the reach, and he did a damn good job. You know,
Yeah,
and I was very, very shocked. I'm like, wow, man, this is. I mean, if you go back and look at his last fight, which wasn't that great, then you look at this fight, man, you be like, these totally different people. Now, I
yeah,
can't, I can't give Sugar Hill the credit, or maybe I can. I don't know. Because see, I don't know what made him fight like that, but he got to keep it up. He
yeah.
got to keep it up. Just tighten up that defense and stop leaving your head so exposed and stop leaving your chin up so high. And I think, I think he could be a formidable opponent. Now, keep in mind what weight class he in. That weight class, it's hard to climb up in that weight class.
Yeah,
So,
he at 154 right now. But
right.
he's 6'2" though. So and he young, he might get even bigger.
Wow.
We might be
Okay.
looking at a super middleweight or something, man, because he's 6'2". He's 6'2",
Wow.
and them and you. I mean, we saw Evander Holyfield. We know what type of genetics he come from. He
Exactly.
might he might
Yeah.
mess around and get and bulk up on you. I like this performance too because I didn't see his last fight, so I went in with no
Mm,
expectations.
mm,
And I gotta say, when old buddy was pressing him and he got hit, I liked
uh,
how it seemed like he might have a chin to him,
yeah.
and he got
Uh,
pretty fast. He got pretty fast hands.
yeah.
He puts his combinations together well. Of the
Mm,
two descendants, I should say, because we're gonna talk about Ali Walsh in a minute. Of the two
mm,
descendants, I take Evan Holyfield all day, every day over the other guy because Evan, like he took some good shots, and then he was
uh,
right in there, like especially at when he knocked him out, you could tell he was blocking shots, he was looking for his moment, and then when he saw
mm,
it, he took it. And that one punch, I mean, you can't teach the ability to again, like I said about Cobb earlier, you can't teach the ability for somebody to just separate you from your faculties in one shot. And he did that with that left hook on the inside. It was tight. It was nice and
mm,
high. And he come from a fighting family, man. And
yeah.
obviously, and so you gotta take it off to him. And the thing I liked and what I heard him say about his story is that his pops didn't want him to fight. His mama didn't want him to fight. So he's not pursuing this in the shadow of Evander Holyfield trying to live up to some name or something like that. He's doing it just because that's what he wants to do. So I respect that, number one. And then number two, he has it tough in gyms because everybody want to get at him because of his last name. So he
Exactly.
gonna have
Yeah.
so he gonna have a lot of opportunities in his career to get some good sparring, get some good work. Even when he's preparing for a fight, people gonna want to come work with him. They're gonna want to be around that name, associate themselves with that. So I like what I saw from him. Though I must say I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised by the performance that he put on because I'm telling you, kind of like you were when in that first round when old buddy was pressing him and hitting him with shots. I was like, man, is he gonna get knocked out? Is he gonna make it through this 6 round fight? But he did more than made it through. He came back in the next round and did work. So definitely got to give Holyfield credit for that for sure. Now
Mhm.
the next one we'll get to Evan Nico Ali Walsh. Nico Ali Walsh, the guy. Look, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but
Mhm.
he doesn't sound like a fighter. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna go any further than that. He don't sound like a fighter when he talks.
Uh,
And a lot of like he knocked the guy out, but he was fighting a 36-year-old fighter with very minimal experience. Like this was a
right.
a, a clear cherry pick. They called it a special attraction. For those of y'all that don't know, I know a lot of y'all do because y'all are hardcore boxing fans. But when they say special attraction up under a fight, that just
Mm,
means they don't expect a real fight. This shit's a setup. We
mm,
just trying to get some money. We are trying to hype up one side, and that side being the Ali Walsh name because of obviously who his grandfather is. Now,
mhm,
Nico Ali Walsh, man, he's working with Sugar Hill. Okay, that's great. And he got good power in his right hand. But his defense, man, if that 36-year-old, 40-year-old man was hitting him with right hands, man, he just need to go back to the drawing board and really work on this craft because he still, to me, he don't look like a real fighter, bro. Like
mhm,
of the two of Evan Holyfield and Nico Ali Walsh, Nico Ali Walsh looked like he might want to hang it up before he get too deep in this shit and get embarrassed on TV one day. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna keep putting him on TV because of his name. They're gonna keep
Yeah.
putting him on TV because of who he is and what his name is. Because this is his second professional fight, and this is the second
Mhm.
main card he was on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This is the second main card he was on, and the way that like you can't keep putting him in there. And I don't want to call the dude a bum because he went in there, risked his life
Right.
for entertainment and shit. But you keep putting him in there with fighters that aren't really professional level fighters. You're gonna
Mhm.
either get them hurt or you're gonna get him embarrassed. Because if that dude that he was fighting had any pop, man, I'd be worried about Nico Ali Walsh because he took flush right hand after flush right hand after flush right hand, and he really only throws a 1-2, and it's at the same speed, and he do that hopping shit like it's like he was watching his granddaddy, and he didn't know that
Right.
his granddaddy was hopping around for a reason, and he had
Mhm.
method to his madness. Nico Ali Walsh just get that mug and start jumping for no reason, bro. From the first
Right.
bell, he just jumping, and he said I heard Tim Bradley or was it Andre Ward? Somebody said that his trainer has him doing that to try to get his rhythm. All right, well, your opponent gonna get your rhythm too. they
Right.
gonna
Right.
they gonna time your rhythm too, and they gonna crack
Right.
your head right in the head, man.
Mhm.
I wasn't impressed with his performance. Obviously, I want to see him grow, but in that one, although he got the knockout, if you're really watching the fight and you really stay tuned in, you'll see he got caught with a lot of shots that you don't expect top level prospects or even prospects that have a chance to earn a real living in the sport. You don't expect them to get
Mhm.
hit by stuff like that from a fighter like that. But we'll see. We'll see with him, man. But what's your thoughts on Ali's grandson, man?
Well, I think first of all, they hyping him up, and they hyping him up for a letdown. And sure, he did a great job last night because level opposition. When he throws right hands and I have seen a lot of guys do this. Anthony Joshua, he does it. You know, besides sitting there trying to admire your work and your punch, they throw like this, bam, and they sit there and bring it back like this. Besides bringing it back to your face, because the counter punch is coming back, they sit there and try to admire their work and bam, white, and do this. That's a bad habit. That's a damn bad habit. And another bad habit. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot throw a jab from your damn hip, from your knees. Now, some fighters think that's fast. It's not. It's faster if you have the earmuffs on and you throw the jab like that, like that. That's faster. Now, of course, he's picking up bad habits. All right. Now, of course, his family, they was happy for him, of course, and everything. And he's carrying the name Ali. And
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like I told everyone, that is Rashida's son and not Layla Ali's son, which they have different mothers. Okay, so but and still and all, he is not pretty much a fighter, because if he gets too far along and then they start stepping him up in competition, he's going to
Mm,
get hurt
yeah.
if he don't pick up the techniques. Because I'm a stickler on this. Your defense is your offense. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself. Hell, that's in the streets anywhere else. You got to protect yourself. And,
100.
and, and, and if he doesn't do that, if he keep on dropping his hands like that, someone with great experience is going to see that and time him and knock him out. But
Mm,
overall, last night that was a great fight. And also, like I was looking at Sweet Tea was saying that Holyfield was so proud of his son. Yes, he
yeah,
was.
100.
Yeah, I mean, they put the camera on him, and he jumped up, and he was smiling, and it's nothing like seeing your son doing something that you used to do, and he did it correctly, and he
Mm,
did it on TV, and I know he was proud. I mean, he was damn proud, and right now, hey, shout out to Evander, Evan, whatever shit. But still, those two right now, I would see Holyfield. I can see him growing a little more, and I can see that Ali Walsh is not going to grow that much, unless you bring in some new trainers, and basically he's going to start from scratch.
yeah.
You might as well do it now. You only got 2 fights under your belt. Go ahead and do it now, because trust me, a Jamel Charlo is not going to take it easy on your ass.
Shit, none of them.
None of them. Exactly, none of them. If you want to be a player in that weight class, you're gonna have to do a little bit more than what you did last night. So, but that's all I
I'd
got.
rather them train. I'd rather them train for a couple years before fighting again. To be honest, especially with Nico Evan, I think he can move up. Evan Holyfield, he can fight. I notice he can fight, but
Mm,
Nico Ali Walsh, I'd rather them just train him and for a couple years and see if he can come back and put him up against the journeyman and see how he do. I don't want to. I
mhm.
mean, I don't want to see any more of this sideshow stuff. To be honest with you,
Right,
KQKC, like I
right.
like what y'all gonna do? The next person he fight gonna be 45 years old. Like what are y'all really doing? He gonna fight one of these dudes that you see on BoxRec with 4 wins and 137 losses? Like what we doing with him?
Let
So
the
it,
sideshow begin.
yeah, man. Like
Hurry, hurry,
what are y'all doing?
step right on in.
Yeah, what are y'all doing, man? Yeah, I see somebody say he's only 21. All right, cool. Well, until you 25, go
Yeah,
train. Go
yeah.
train for 3 or 4 years. See if you pick some shit up, get some good sparring in,
Mhm.
and then come back and holler at me. Because right now, they gonna ruin that man before he gets started, bro.
Right.
They gonna ruin that man before he gets started. Now,
And what makes it so bad, real fast?
yeah,
21, and he only got 2 fights. This is the right time. Catch him now. Don't let him get 10 or 15 fights on his belt. Then he get used to it, and it's get harder and harder. And next thing you know, he reverting back to what he know how to do. So go ahead and change him now. All right,
yeah,
he's
right.
changeable. He's
Yeah,
changeable
you can
now.
mold. You can
Yeah,
mold them now. You can
right.
mold them right now. We
Yeah.
got the last 2 fights. I know y'all waiting on Shakur Stevenson. We got one more. Then we gonna talk about him, man. We got to talk about this Xander Zayas kid, though. We got to talk about what he did to Dan Carpinci last night. Look, y'all, Xander Zayas. If you go watch his fight, his
Mhm.
last fight, he showed a lack of patience. When he hurt his opponent, he rushed in and tried to finish him and ended up being tired. Ended
Right.
up being ended up like overexerting himself and he didn't get the stoppage and he got caught with a lot of shots that maybe he shouldn't have got caught with. He showed so much improvement last night, y'all.
Yeah.
He showed
Mhm.
so much improvement. Number one, he was much more of a patient fighter. He was much more of a patient fighter last night. Like when he got Karpinski hurt and he was landing him with good shots, he didn't just jump in on him like he did in his last fight. And that's what you like to see from fighters. And Xander Zayas is only 19 years old. He stayed behind his jab better. Them left hooks that he was throwing to the body were, bro, he was putting punches together so well. And you could see the talent written all over this kid out of Puerto Rico, man. He is a outstanding prospect. And like KQKC says, he's 11-0 now with 8 knockouts. Dan Carpinci was a step up. He was fighting somebody that never been stopped, that came from a fighting family because Carpinci got like older brothers and shit. He got a
Mhm.
heavyweight. His heavyweight brother just got knocked out a couple of months ago by Jared Big Baby Anderson. So his family is known to get knocked out and beat up by upcoming prospects. Just thought I'd throw that out there for y'all. His name was Jeremiah Carpinci. But
Mhm.
this dude Xander Zayas, man. I love fighters that go to the body, especially so young in their career, because that's something he only gonna get better at as his career goes on. So for Xander, I'm looking forward to see what's next from him. I want to see him step up, and the fact that he's already co-main eventing at 19 years old, on ESPN for Top Rank, that lets you know what Top Rank thinks of him, man. I don't I don't know, man. Who else they got from a prospect perspective? But I say he got to be top 2 or 3 of their prospects right now, of their people that they're trying to mold and build to world champions. Xander Zayas can fight, man. So great performance from him. Hats
Mhm.
off to him. We wanted to see him improve his patience. When I did a reaction to his last fight, he improved his patience. I wanted to see him stay behind his jab better. He stayed behind his jab better, and he just let the knockout come to him, and he made a fighter who had never been stopped throw in the towel. So you got to give Xander Zayas a shit ton of credit for his performance last night, not headhunting, just taking what was given to him and making Carpinci make mistakes and making them pay, man. He got every tool in the toolbox when it comes to his offensive game. So very, very happy with his performance last night. But what did you think? I know you were calling the fight, and that was one of the probably the funnest ones to call because that one he was landing shots power
Yeah,
shots left and right. But
yeah.
what's your thoughts on Zayas, man?
Okay. Well. Look, hey, listen to me. Listen to me. Hey, listen to me while I'm talking. Okay. Yeah, I'm just playing. All right. This is your boy Knockout. I thought I'd do that. Anyway, well, hey, listen. Yeah, he did a great job, Janice. He's young and he's more advanced than he should be at his age. I don't know how old he started boxing, but he must have started at a young age. But right now, he did everything right. Now, of course, he was using that young man pretty much as a punching bag.
Facts.
That's how he was looking, as a punching bag. And but he was doing everything right. He was mixing them up. He was going down to the body, then he went down to the kidney, left and right. Then he was going upstairs, and then he caught him out balance. Then of course on Kapinski, he was pretty much throwing left hooks, and the tallest he is, Zetas, he got under that hook, and he threw him
Mm.
off balance. He threw it so hard that he twisted around, went all the way across the ring. Now, of course, Janice was going to jump on him, but just in time, he turned around and defended himself. But again, he was pretty much busting him up. Now he a slow starter. He always been a slow starter. I don't know, is it because he want to see what the other guy bringing? But he jumped on him pretty much at a slow pace. But then he started elevating his punches. Then he started stepping on the gas a little bit. And then
Mhm.
actually he said, you know what? I can go ahead and finish this sooner than I thought I could. And that's what he did. And I was real impressed with him. And like I said before he came in, look, I like the kid. I've been watching him fight since he started, and he's doing a great job. And a lot of people say, hey, Top Rank this and that, but Top Rank got the best kept secret out there. They got the best recruiting on department. Whoever's over that, they got the best recruiting out there, and they making some noise right now as far as young competition. So hands down. I mean, not even the zone. Now, I don't know how much you guys are getting paid, but these guys are doing a fantastic job. But I don't have too much to say about Xander. He did everything
Mhm.
right. His punches wasn't wide. Just like Kapinski, he was throwing wide punches. So all Xander had to do is go down the middle. Go down
Yeah.
the middle. That's
Yeah.
all he had to do. Go down the middle. Because when you throw wide like that, you leave yourself open. You leave your whole self open on the inside. So that's what he was doing, counter to his counter. He was counter punching very well. So, but that's all I have with him because on Janice, he did a damn good job. So hopefully we'll see a better competition. Cause
Yeah.
it's time now. It's time for him to step up now. It's time for him to fight somebody a little bit dangerous. All right. And
Mm.
let's see how that happens. Cause you know, when you have a fighter that walks you down, they walking you down for a reason. They walk you down just like Bermain Stavern and Deontay Wilder when he won the WBC. They walking you down, hoping that you throw something in panic or nervousness, and they can counter on you. Hopefully, you can throw something that's real dumb, or you panic and just throw anything, and they can throw you off balance and pretty much get you out of there. Other words, they're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to
Mhm.
intimidate you. So, Janice, he wasn't having it. He came forward himself. Came forward, but he was inching. If you watch his feet, slowly but surely, he was
Mhm.
inching up. His back feet was turned to the right. His front feet was pointing forward. So he was inching back because if he had to go back, he had to balance to go back. Then he come back again. He step again, inch, 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 and then he let them long arms go, and he came with the counter. So,
Yeah, I would love to see because I'm thinking of realistic fights.
mm,
I think Top Rank should feed Patrick Teixeira to him.
mm,
Go ahead and
okay,
feed Patrick Teixeira to Xander Zayas. I think that's a great fight. They also got a
okay,
I think Carlos Adames is a little that's a little
Mm.
bit too much for him right now. But Patrick Teixeira, I think that'll be a good fight for Xander Zayas. And salute to the homie Mr. Gumbo in that super chat. Says salute knockout boxing and KQKC. Bomax starts slow. He's about to knock on your door. Okay, okay, bro. But yeah,
This
so
ain't McDonald's. I don't know why you come over here.
yeah, it ain't Burger King. Shit, that's
Yeah.
KQKC crib, bro. Oh, and the other thing, and then we can move on to the main event of the evening. The other thing, I wanted to talk about, or I wanted to say real quickly, I love how active Xander Zayas is, man. I was looking this up. I didn't realize he fought four. Don't tell
Yep.
him it's a pandemic, bro. He fought 4 times in 2020,
Yep.
and he fought 5 times so far this year. And they might
Yep.
try to get him a fight in December, bro.
Mhm.
So I mean, shit, who you voting for prospect of the year, y'all? I got Xander right now for prospect of the year. He been putting in that work, man. I got to give credit to the consistency and to the activity level, man. He been fighting. So we got 35 minutes, y'all, and we wanted to say
Yeah, well, I say Big Baby Miller. I mean, not Big Baby Miller, Big Baby Anderson. He fought
yeah,
3
he good.
times in 4 months, but he's
Yeah.
not a prospect. You know, he's not a well, he is a contender, but you know, he's not he's not the new kid on the block. Put it that way.
Yeah, no.
You know,
Yeah. He didn't he win prospect of the year last year or something?
I think so. I'm not
So
for
yeah,
sure.
I'm not sure.
Hold
We'll
on.
see though. I mean, shit, I want to see world champions anyway. But I'm just saying, I love the activity. I love, and that's what I like about. And damn, I'm glad you said Big Baby Anderson. I'm sorry, Xander Zayas is not the best prospect in top rank. I'm gonna take that back. Y'all go delete that if y'all heard me say that. I got Jared Anderson as the best prospect. I'm glad OG brought his name up. And salute to Young World in that super chat. He says salute knockout, salute OG, salute to the chat, salute to you, brother. Appreciate you coming through and showing love in that super chat, man. So
Sweet Tea said she heard of that too. Yeah, he will be fighting.
Yeah, he said, that's what I thought he was gonna try to come back in December. It says so let's get to the main event. I don't want to talk too much because I'm like Nostradamus. Like I said everything that I'm basically gonna say right now. I already said it before the fight, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. Like let me go here right quick. You know, I gotta change this, but this right here, that's what I do. Y'all see the record right there. This is what I do. Okay. So when y'all going against me, bro, y'all need to understand something. I study this, man. I does this, but let me take this out because y'all gotta support the OG. Let me put this back up here. Put his cash app back up there. Y'all show him some love because he's hurting this morning. But we gonna let him talk. We're gonna let him explain himself to y'all, man, because he picked Jamel Herring. He picked the Marine. I think he went with his emotion and not his boxing brain. But we're gonna let him explain. I don't really have too much to say. I'll come back after him and we'll talk about what's next for these fighters. But OG, give us your thoughts on what you saw last night with the main event, the world championship fight, super featherweight division between Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. The floor is yours, my good sir. It's all yours. Take it away. Take however long you need to give your eulogy. You go ahead and do what you need to do, my good sir.
Yes, sir. But I will say this. You know, Shakur did a great job. Okay, fine, all right. But I got to talk about my man Simplify. Simplify was pretty much doing a great job. He was, working his jab. They both were working their jab. Actually, it was a battle of the jabs in the first and second round. Then Shakur knew what he was bringing. Now Shakur is a slow starter also. Now, we all are used to seeing Shakur fight on the back foot. There's no doubt about it. But last fight, he was looking kind of boring. We remember what Timothy Bradley changed his mind and this and that. So, he's going to be a boring fighter. So Shakur said, you know what? I'm going to make this an exciting fight. You are going to see Shakur Stevenson come for this fight. Now, I thought he would just, give him some,
me too.
Energy. That's what I thought. And Simplify, he probably did too. And this is boxing. This is boxing. Now, I went with the Marine because the Marine is disciplined. The Marine is disciplined in everything he does. And I'm talking about in and out the ring, in and out of the military. And, it's just something they instill in you. And so when it comes to Bo McIntyre, like I said, his stomach might drop, like I don't know what. but he has a great boxing mind, and that means that he has a great plan and place to fight Shakur, because Shakur is a counterpuncher. He's a counterpuncher, and he was counterpunching last night. He was fighting on the inside last night. Now, I ask you all, when has Shakur ever faced adversity? And I couldn't really think about it, and I couldn't really think. Well, he haven't felt adversity because he pretty much whitewashed everybody they put in front of him.
Mm.
So and therefore, simplify. What happened was, this is when it started falling apart. When Shakir started pretty much timing him, and then he would come and mix up his punches. He'd go from the left. He'll slap him with that left, not going down to the body. He'll slap him with that left up top. Then he used the right hand to go down to the body. Then he used the left hand again to go down to the body. Then the right hand going up top. Then he was mixing it up, mixing it up. Then, of course, simplify Heron. He was pretty much kind of confused. He didn't know what to block, what to counter, what to knock down, because Shakir was mixing it up. And then when he thought he was going downstairs, Shakir come upstairs and slap him with that right, slap him with that
Mm.
left, and slap him with that right. And then he put a little speed to it. Then he pulled out. He didn't get too far ahead. He just pulled out because he didn't want to get hit with something. Then, of course, once he went into the corner, Bomac gave him a lip dressing. All right. That's what you used to call back in the days a lip dressing, right? That means that, he pretty much, cursed his ass out and say, hey, look, you got to step on the gas. You got to be a little more aggressive. And that's what he
Mm-hmm.
did. Simplified came out there, he was herky jerky, and hey, look, I might be 35, but I can move. And then he did pretty good. He caught Shakir with a nice straight left. And Shakir felt that, I believe. And because he started holding on. He did start
Yeah.
dancing like Fred Astaire. But then Shakir came back out and continued on doing what he was doing. Now he got a little bit too far behind, and then head clash came, then that cut came, and then that's when people started getting worried. All right, because that's over the right eye, but it's leaking into the eye. So but still, Mike 202 is right. He did make Harrington look old last night, but Harrington, he moving like he was 19. He still was trying to move this and that and trying to, he had the herky jerky style. That's not Harrington. That's not where he fight. So what happened was he got out of his comfort zone last night. He got out of his comfort zone and tried to do something that he haven't done before. That's not Harrington. Harrington, he will give you that fake. He will give you that fake up top. He will give you that fake downstairs, but he's not that herky jerky type fighter because he's throwing his own self off balance.
Mm-hmm.
But Shakir, he did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job pretty much watching him. Because if you look at Shakir's eyes, all right, he didn't come in there real fast. He took it slow. And if you look at his eyes, he looking mean, and then he started stepping on the gas. All right. I don't know what his corner was telling him because I had the TV down, but he started stepping on the gas a little more. The next round, a little bit more. The next
Mm.
round, I mean, he just turned it up. He just turned it up,
Yeah.
and especially when he had Harrington in the corner. And Harrington in the corner, he slapped him with the left and right upstairs. Then he went down to the basement, and then he started working in the basement. So, I mean, it is what it is. Then, of course, now I did see a couple low blows, but I'm not going to use that as
Yeah.
an excuse, but it is what it is because he fighters. Now, uh, uh, um, the discipline that I was looking forward to. It seemed like it wasn't there. The discipline
Mm.
wasn't there. I don't know what's the big stage. I don't know what it was, but maybe Carl Frampton wasn't Shakur Stevenson. But then again, Harrington wasn't the competition that Stevenson fought. And this is what made me say, hey, look here. I'm going to pretty much say, hey, Shakur haven't fought anybody with that type of caliber that he has. So I'm like, okay, whoa, wait a minute. I think Simplify might shock the world with this shit because
Mm,
he is like a step up fight, really, for Shakur. Because
yeah.
Shakur always fought on the back foot. Now he was fantastic on that back foot. He was hitting the right, going down to the body, and bagging up, but not last night. He came forward. And he was bam, bam, bam. So I give my hat out to Shakur. He did a great job. He turned it up when he needed to turn up, and he took his time and he didn't rush it. And he was going for the knockout because he was just pressing the action. And Jamel, he had his guard up, but his guard wasn't tight. It wasn't tight because Shakur was punching right through it with the left.
Yeah.
And it got to him because your head popping back and so, but Shakur did a great job. He did a great job.
Yeah.
And
Anytime you see a fighter shaking their head, no, that mean they got their ass popped.
exactly, exactly,
Like, no, they ain't nothing, but bro, you getting your ass beat. You
exactly.
getting your ass
So,
beat for sure.
so I will say this knockout at the end of the fight. I like the sportsmanlike. I like them, Terrence Crawford, Bo Mack, Shakur, his father, Simplify, all them taking pictures together, all of them acting like one big happy family. That's
Really?
sportsmanship.
Okay.
That's sportsmanlike. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't no animosity or nothing like that. Maybe it was, I don't know. But still, I like it. Everybody clean fighters, and everybody the best man won. That's the only thing I can say. But I was a little disappointed in Simplify because I thought I had it down pat about the discipline part. I thought I had it down pat as far as he always go in there and do what he said he's gonna do. I thought I had it down pat when he said, "Hey, I love being the underdog." That's when I rise to the occasion. So
Mm.
I thought I had it down pat, but I guess Knockout was the better man last night.
Nah, man, we both won. It was a great fight. Mike 202 in that super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He said Stevenson made Herring look old last night. Let's see here. Let me catch back up. Oh, here we go. Teach in that super chat. I appreciate you, Teach. He said Shakur, boxing genius. Nivea coming through. Salute, sweetie. That's my daughter. A little something to make your day a little more marvelous. I appreciate you, sweetie. Thank you so much. So yeah, and DP Rocker, I saw your comment about me and BFTB's conversation, man. That was a great conversation. Y'all go subscribe to BFTB Boxing, man.
Uh,
He doing that work over there. I had to step into the graveyard. Hopefully, I made it out with my life, but it was definitely a good conversation, man. Always fun chopping it up with that brother. But yeah, Shakur Stevenson, man. I see a lot of y'all are giving him props and talking highly of Jamel Herring as well. So that's good and that's great. So the thing that and I saw Daniel Mitchell also say that Bomac had a great game plan for Jamel Herring. I gotta say I disagree, man. I gotta say I disagree with the game plan, and I said it from jump. Like he was trying to have, I could tell after. I felt very good after the first round of this fight when I heard Bomac say you have to press forward, go behind your jab, and press forward. And I felt good that Shakur was gonna win even after only one round, based off of those instructions. Because then I knew the game plan was for Jamel Herring to try to be aggressive with Shakur Stevenson, and you just can't do that if you Jamel Herring because that's not what you good at, man. Jamel Herring is best when he's controlling distance, sitting on his back foot and catching people coming in with his straight left hand or with his uppercut if they fall over his front foot. So by trying to instruct him to go forward, trying to make him press forward on Shakur Stevenson, you're giving away all your advantages. He immediately gave away his length and turned it into a boxing match. He immediately gave away his uppercut because you're not gonna land your uppercut coming forward on Shakur Stevenson, bro. You just not. And so when he gave that stuff away, I immediately knew that Shakur Stevenson was going to be in good shape in that fight. And then his hand speed, as I thought, was a little bit too much for Jamel Herring. And he showed that even though he was 24 and Jamel Herring was 35, he showed that he had a higher ring IQ. And he seemed like he was the more poised fighter. He seemed like he was the one that had more experience in the ring that night. And Mr. Mechanical, I didn't see your question. If you can put it in the chat again, bro, I'll try my best to answer. And salute to Snacks B in that super chat. He says Herring passed his torch, and that was the best thing. Yeah, he passed the torch very, very respectfully. And Herring, he couldn't find any answers to the hand speed until Shakur actually being a lot stronger and a lot more physically mature than what a lot of people thought he was, because a lot of people was like, oh, Herring, he's the grown man, he's gonna have the strength advantage, he's gonna be able to kind of rough Shakur up in a way that he hasn't been roughed up before, and that just wasn't the case. That just wasn't the case, bro. It was really, really surprised. That was the part that was surprising to me. That was like, damn, you can't push him around. You're supposed to be the bigger, stronger person. But Andre Ward, to his credit, made a good point. He said, just because you taller don't always mean you bigger and you stronger. And Shakur Stevenson seemed more stocky. He seemed more sturdy in that fight. And he was just landing on Jamel Herring pretty much at will. And I said that Shakur Stevenson seemed like the type of fighter that the better the competition gets, the more he's gonna step up. He seems like the type that you got to bring certain shit up out of him, and I felt like Nakathila couldn't do that because he couldn't keep Shakur's attention. He couldn't make him stay disciplined and make him have to really go to his complete tool set. Well, Jamel Herring can, because Jamel Herring can fight. He has a skill set, and he hit Shakur Stevenson with some good left hands. And Shakur showed he had a little chin on him. Like, he ain't just gonna buckle with the first shot that you hit him with, which makes it even more discouraging because you hit him so little anyway, because he's so damn good defensively. Like, he was right there in the pocket the whole night, making Jamel Herring barely miss and making him pay, catching him with left straights and right hooks. Just a phenomenal performance from him. I hope all his naysayers, all the people that were calling him boring, please have that same energy for the young man and give the young man credit for what he did last night, because he wasn't boring last night. He was extremely entertaining in the same way that you'll hop on Twitter or you'll hop on this platform, this great platform that we on right now. The same way you'll hop on these platforms and you'll criticize a young man like that when he doesn't perform up to par, and you'll go over and beyond to criticize him. Please, please, please keep that same energy and give him credit when he performs how he performed last night. And to your point about liking them sportsmanship and all of that stuff, at first thought I was like, damn, Jamel, he just took your belt, bro. Why are you taking pictures with him? But then the more I think about it, I had to say, okay, this ain't Wilder Fury. There's no real bad blood here. These dudes, they got a lot of the same friends. They run in the same circles, and they both and the fact that they both was like, no, it's our respect. And Shakur said, look, now that we ain't fighting, I love Jamel Herring, and that's what I like to see. So I do like sportsmanship in that instance. And if the beef is real, though, I just don't like the fake stuff. And so I'm still okay with Deontay Wilder not wanting to shake Tyson Fury's hand. But in this case, these brothers had no ill will towards each other. Nobody, tried to pull out of a contract, or lie, or do any flaky shit with the other one. So I'm cool with them showing respect to each other after the fight. But Shakur Stevenson at 130, 135, y'all need to be worried about this young man. y'all really need to be worried about this young man. He is a problem with his defensive ability in his hand speed, in his counter punching. Look, man, you're gonna have to have some skills and a damn good game plan to deal with this young man. He's something serious, man. And so beyond getting my pick right, like, I always love being right, obviously, but I'm just glad we got a great fight last night, and he called out Oscar Valdez right after the fight. And so, boxing fans, Oscar Valdez fans, let's not make excuses. Let's not do that. Let's push for this damn fight. Let's push for this unification. We cannot only push for unifications when we feel like our fighter has the upper hand, or who you support might have the upper hand. You know what I mean? We have to push for it all the time. And so I want to see Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson. That's what I want to see. And then whoever the IBF or the WBA is, get them in line too. Let's unify these divisions so we can get these great fights, because this is what boxing is all about, man. It's not about all this cherry picking and shit and deciding, hey, what you gonna do? Okay, let me fight this person. Let me go fight that person because I know that's a favorable matchup for me. Nah, man. Shakur Stevenson took a chance against a tough champion who had defended his belt and so he did what he was supposed to do. And I love this question right here. Will Oscar be clean though? I hope so. But if he not though, if he not, I still want Shakur Stevenson to do what Robson Canseco did, but worse. But worse. I'm openly telling y'all, I don't typically root for fighters, bro. I just analyze the shit, do my pick, and I want to see a great fight. But I was openly rooting for Robson Canseco to beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez. And whoever Oscar Valdez next opponent is, if it's Shakur Stevenson, I'm telling y'all right now, bro, with no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm cheering for Shakur Stevenson to beat the dumb shit out of Oscar Valdez.
Wow.
If the WBC ain't gonna punish him, then shit, let a fighter punish his ass. And I believe Shakur Stevenson is the perfect opponent to punish Oscar Valdez. And what do you think of this comment? I say, hell no, nah, bro. That's not a 50-50 fight. That is not a man. Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez won't win a round, Dundada. He got a lucky puncher's chance in that fight, bro. If Robson Canseco gonna outbox him, bro, Shakur Stevenson will dog walk Oscar Valdez, bro. And guess who believes me? Guess who believes me, Dundada? Oscar Valdez believes me. That's why he ran his ass up to 130 and vacated his belt at 126. He don't believe he can beat Shakur Stevenson, bro. He doesn't. That shit is not 50-50, bro. He got a lucky puncher's chance. And the fact that all Oscar got is a damn left hook, that's all he got, bro. You ain't finna. And Shakur Stevenson is a southpaw. I'm analyzing the shit in my head. How the hell you gonna land a left hook on him? So Valdez's best punch is already taken away, in my opinion. Then what he gonna do? Outbox Shakur? Hell no, nah, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Shakur Stevenson. I don't usually do picks early or hypothetical ass picks. Man, I'm giving y'all one for the free. Shakur Stevenson will dog walk Oscar Valdez if they ever fight, bro. I don't give a damn if it's 130, 135. He said question in the chat. Let me see. Valdez getting smoked. Oh, yeah. So I'm answering your question, Mr. Mechanical, without even answering it. Yes, bro. Yes. Valdez has no shot against Shakur Stevenson other than a puncher's chance, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But what do you think of that, OG? If they do fight, what's your thoughts on the fight? Just initial thoughts between Valdez and Stevenson.
Well, Valdez is not as flexible as Stevenson. What I mean by flexible is he don't know how to mix up his offense. He's come forward, like I say, come forward, the earmuffs on the peekaboo style, come straight forward, and then let one go off the earmuffs, let another one go, and trying to use his power punches and not a jab. You rarely see him throwing jabs as he come in. Everything works behind the jab. We know that. But Shakur Stevenson, he would sit there and try to box with him. Now, of course, Valdez is going to try to bag him up because that's what type of fighter he is. He come forward. But Stevenson's going to have to stand his ground. And now, don't be too careless because Valdez is still a live dog in there, and he still can punch. And he will hit you with something if you're not paying attention. So that's what Stevenson got. Stevenson got a lot of tricks in his trick bag. Now, he sure can go upstairs. He sure can mix it up, and he can throw Valdez off of balance. Now, he just like he did simplified, throw him off balance. Valdez might be even easier because he's one dimension. He's one dimension. Straight come forward, straight earmuff. That's it. And he's trying to get to you. Then once he get to you, then he's trying to go to the body and finish you. But if Shakur ain't there, then how you gonna finish him? Because Shakur is gonna move to the left or right, and while he's doing that, he's gonna be counter punching at the same goddamn time. So, but right now, how it play out is Oscar Valdez gonna have to work on some few other things besides that robotic style that Anthony Joshua always do. So, I mean, this is what they'll have to do. Now, Shakur Stevenson, he throw punches sometimes in bunches. Now, they very far in between, but he do throw them. He hit it with your one, he hit it with a two, then hit you with a 1-2. So, I mean, Shakur, he can outpoint him, but he can't get caught. Excuse me, he can't get caught with a left or a right because he can get caught with one,
Yeah.
So, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I give out there's a puncher's chance. I ain't saying he ain't got no chance, but I would definitely favor Shakur. So here's the question Mr. Mechanical was talking about, OG. I want you to tackle it first, 'cause I think it's a great question. He says it was a good fight from Shakur, but do you and OG think Bo Mack is getting too much praise as a great trainer, due to Bud's skill set? Because he's looking at Herring and he's looking at Hooker's performance in their big fights, and he says that none of the game plans seem to be working for Bo Mack. The only one who game plan worked is Crawford, and Crawford is just that good. So do you think Bo Mack gets too much credit as being a great trainer, or do you think he really is a great trainer? What's your thoughts on him, man?
Well, I think he's a great trainer. I think he's a great trainer. I think he knows his fighters pretty well. I think he knows what his fighters can and cannot do, and I think he works around that. I think he look at film too, and he go back and look at their last two fights at the most. At the most. Now, the reason why I say this, people, is because see, a fighter only changed his style maybe once every year or something like that. You can't change your style in two fights. So you go back one or two fights and he's still fighting the same way. So that's how you can see what type of caliber he's fighting, a lower or high caliber. And that's why you go back 2 rounds. James DeGale from the UK, he changed up his style. He was more aggressive. At first, he wasn't. He had a lot of groin injuries. So what he did was he changed up his fighting style. It took 3 years, but he did it. It did it. Because you don't change overnight. You don't change overnight. So, and that's what we were saying about Deontay Wilder. When you get hit with something and you got a new game plan, what would you do? You revert back to what you know best, what always gets you out of trouble, and that was that right hand. So, therefore, I think, Bo Mack is one of a hell of a trainer. Yeah, he's fat. He's fat as a motherfucker. Yes, he does need Jenny Craig. He need her bad. He need her on speed dial. But the thing is, he still got that brain. He still got that IQ. He still is a great boxing trainer. So and watch when we see Porter versus Crawford. Watch how Crawford negate, as they say, Sean Porter, as Sean Porter rushes in. Sean Porter don't jab his way in. Sean Porter give you that head fake, that stomp, and come straight in. But I think Bo Mack and Crawford is working on a plan to catch him when he started doing that. So yes, Bo Mack is he's a damn good trainer. Yes, he is.
So here's what I think, Mr. Mechanical, and I think it's a great question. So I think just like the jury is still
Good
out
question.
on Terrence Crawford, I think it's still out on Bo Mack, because the fighters that you're talking about. So when Hooker lost to Rodriguez or Jose Ramirez, he was just overmatched, and when he lost to Virgil Ortiz, he was overmatched too. I don't think that's a training issue for Bo Mack. I just think Hooker struggles against pressure fighters with power, because he's chinny, bro. He don't really have a chin like that. So when he fought Ramirez, that got exposed, and then Virgil Ortiz is a souped up Ramirez, bro. Like, he hits harder than Ramirez. He's bigger than Ramirez. He's more skilled than Ramirez, in my opinion. He can do more. So going from that fight, and then Hooker did have a fight in between, but it wasn't really shit. And then going straight to Virgil Ortiz, like, that's just, to me, that shows Maurice Hooker is a dog, but that shows that he just has a problem with a certain level of fighter. Then you go to this fight. Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. Again, his fighter was just in there with somebody that was just better than them. Like, at the end of the day, I'm saying, oh, maybe Jamel Herring should have sat on his back foot and tried to do this and tried to do that. But at the end of the day, I think Shakur showed last night that it probably wouldn't have mattered what Herring did in that fight. Shakur Stevenson was just far better. And so I don't know if he's a great trainer yet. You know what I mean? I'll find out when Terrence Crawford fights Sean Porter, because now I know Terrence Crawford's not overmatched. To me, this is a true 50-50 fight that's going to come down to where it's fought at. If it's mainly mid-range and long range, I give Terrence Crawford the edge. If Sean Porter comes in and he's able to get inside of Terrence Crawford's reach, then I'd favor Sean Porter. So this is a 50-50 fight that's going to take game planning. It's going to take adjustments. It's going to take good instructions from the trainer. So in this Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter fight, we'll find out how good Bo Mack really is, because people have come to Bo Mack, but he ain't really built nothing sustainable outside of Terrence Crawford. And unfortunately for Bomac and a lot of great coaches, when a fighter is so great, coaches maybe don't get the credit that they deserve. Or when an athlete's so great, like LeBron James, coaches never get credit when he wins a championship. You feel what I'm saying? And then the same
Right.
thing for boxers like Eddie Reynoso. Maybe he don't get a lot of credit for what Canelo does just because Canelo is Canelo. And so I like for me, if you ask me knockout who's a great trainer, I would say somebody like Derrick James. He built Errol Spence from the ground up. Then he got Jamel Charlo over to him, and he made him a better fighter and helped him unify and shit like that. So that's what I look for. To me, Bomac has a little bit more work he got to do, and if him and Terrence Crawford pull this off consistently and do it in emphatic fashion, then I think you got to call him a great trainer because his fighter T-Bud Crawford is finally in there with somebody that's gonna push him and that's gonna make him have to make adjustments and maybe cause him to have some adversity, and that's when your trainer comes into play. So that's my thoughts on that question, man. I think he can be a great trainer. I think obviously he's helped Terrence Crawford his whole career. So I just want to see what it's like when Terrence Crawford's finally in there with somebody that's a top fighter, because Bomac's other fighters, they were just overmatched, bro, by better competition, in my opinion. So it is what it is. Oh, and then another thing I like about Derrick James, look at how Frank the Ghost Martin looks. If y'all don't know who Frank Martin is, y'all need to go check him out. That's another one of his fighters that can really, really fight, bro, down at 135. So
wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But so I was reading, let me see. I wanted to address one of these comments. I forgot which one it was. Give me 1 second. I'm finding it. Oh yeah, they were so they were in the chat talking about Shakur Stevenson versus Chris Colbert. And we only got 4 minutes left in the show. What's your thoughts on that fight? Yeah, Chris Colbert out of the dude with the pink hair.
Right. Chris Colbert. I don't like that fight. Why? Okay, they're saying that who will fight Chris Colbert?
Shakur Stevenson. They saying that would be a good fight next. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Chris Colbert, he doesn't do anything well. He doesn't do anything bad either, but he's not that type of fighter. He's not very technical in his skill set. Yes, he does punch with his jab and everything that comes afterwards. But Shakur is a different type of caliber than Colbert. Now, yeah, I can see you can say a Burt Chad or something like that, or even Valdez. Valdez, he owned this shit. He got to step up now. He got to step up to the plate and come on and say, okay, let's unify these titles. All right, this is what the governing body should be doing, the WBO. Now, Bob need to get on the phone and say, hey, look, my fighter won. Let's see, can we make this happen? And maybe March in 2022 or something like that. But I can't just see him fighting just anybody to throw at him, So, but Chris Colbert, he's a good fighter, and on the outside and in, because I don't take it nothing personal what he said about Wilder. He just speaking his honest opinion, and that's what we all need to do: speak our honest opinion. I mean, sure, a lot of people gonna be heard, but you have to speak your opinion. And so, but I don't like the fight at all. I think it's a waste of time, and of course, a waste of Jamel. Shakur Stevenson, waste of time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And let me say this, and then we'll give our last words and let y'all continue y'all's morning. I think that they need to clear some shit up in the WBA. You got Colbert as the interim champion. They got Roger Gutierrez as a regular champion, and they got a vacant belt. So we got a vacant WBA belt. There's a vacant IBF belt. The only two champions at 130 pounds are Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez right now. So hopefully they can unify while the other sanctioned bodies get their shit in order, and hopefully get some champions so we can get a complete unification in the division. But Colbert, I think he needs to become a real champion. I don't want Shakur Stevenson fighting for an interim belt. I'd rather him fight Oscar Valdez for a real unification fight. But OG, it's 10:30. I know everybody got to get over to Stormy B-Man's show. What's your last words? Let everybody know where to find you, when you're gonna be going live, all of that good stuff, so we can get the people up out of here, man.
Hey, it been good this morning, tired this morning, but hey, the show must go on.
Yes,
And
sir.
look, we had a great fight last night, and of course, we're gonna have many more coming down the pipe right before January. We're talking about the next 2 months, and including this month at the end. So I'm KQKC Boxing Network. I come on Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, and also Saturday mornings. I mean, 12:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, Saturday mornings, 10:30 p.m. Central Time. That's a call-in show. Then right again, we back at it again at 9 o'clock. That's me and Knockout Boxing 86 TV. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do it right now. That way you get notified each and every time I go live on my platform and Knockout go live on his platform. And with that, that's all I have, baby. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And his
sir.
and to subscribe to KQKC, I know a lot of y'all are already, but if you're not, his link is in my in the description of this live stream. But y'all can find me right here on YouTube, man. Knockout Boxing 86. Y'all subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at KO Boxing 86 TV. I go live every Sunday morning right here with KQKC Boxing Network. We'll be on his platform next Sunday. So as he said, subscribe to both of us so you can know whose platform we're gonna be live on. And then I go live on my own individual show, and that's my live show every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. It was a great weekend of fights. We got Jerron Ennis fighting next week. We got Jamal James versus Butayev fighting next week. So we'll be right back on KQKC next Sunday, man, talking about that fight and talking about those cards. So y'all keep supporting us. All the donations were appreciated. The super chats were appreciated. If you haven't, y'all please smash the like button on your way out before you get out of here. Enjoy your Sunday. Be around the people that you love. And we appreciate y'all. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.